Do you feel like you have enough joy in your life, even when sometimes things feel like they're going in circles or things feel kind of hard? Did you know that joy and happiness are actually different definitions? And did you know that having more joy can actually help your immune system? We're in the transformation series, so today we're going to talk about transforming your joy. No, it's not in here, but I'm coming now from the messy front lines. I am Nurse Ann, and channel is here for your inspirational wellness of mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to jump into having more joy, even amidst trials, transforming your joy in your life, even finding that. We're going to get into some bonus content from my published devotionals, and at the end there's a prize. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the first media article is from Harvard Health Publishing, from Harvard Medical School, and they ask, how can you find joy or at least peace during difficult times? Because we know life has its ups and downs, but finding purpose in changing routines does help. And that was written by Stephanie Collier. And so they asked, what's the difference between joy and happiness? What do you think? Put that in the comments. Joy and happiness are often used interchangeably. However, happiness technically refers to the pleasurable feelings, emotions that result from a situation, experience, or objects, where joy is a state of mind that can be found even in times of grief or uncertainty. Thus, we can work on cultivating joy independent of our circumstances. They say winning the lottery can trigger short-term happiness. Spending time engaging in meaningful activities can result in more long-term joy. And there's also a biology, neurochemical aspect to this that they bring up, that joy and feel-good neurotransmitters. Although the neurobiology, say that 3 times quickly, neurobiology. Although the neurobiology of joy is complex, there are a few neurotransmitters that stand out in promoting positive feelings. I'm sure you've heard some of these. Dopamine. A lot of times we get stuck in that dopamine reward cycle where it might be quick pleasures or even foods or activities that don't benefit us in the long run, but we get addicted to that dopamine. I also did a video about healthy alternatives to dopamine addictions. These are all on my website at nurseann.com, and with an E, you can see it in the description, because I do want you to have that inspirational wellness, be able to break out of boxes that you feel of limitations, whether it's in your life trajectory, your goals. Sometimes we feel stuck and limited. We're going to work on breaking out of that. So joy and feel-good neurotransmitters: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. And all these are involved in different situations we find ourselves in, relationships. Even sometimes we form trauma bonds and bad relationship cycles based on going back to these chemicals. But the good news is that many changes to our lives can increase the good neurotransmitter levels. For example, running can produce that runner's high. Spending time with a baby releases oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, and also sometimes with other loved ones in our lives. But as I said, it can also trick and dupe and manipulate us into sometimes going after the wrong trajectory, wrong relationships, wrong activities that keep us feeling stuck and just wanting that quick dopamine release. The effects of neurotransmitters on the body are broad, from relaxing your muscles to speeding up your heart rate, but they can result in a final common pathway of promoting those positive feelings. Whether it's finding a sense of purpose or enjoying supportive relationships, the benefits on the mind and body are far-reaching. As I said, this channel is here for your inspirational wellness of mind, body, and spirit, as it is on my website, nurseann.com. Follow, like, leave your comments today. So how do you increase joy? Not just the happiness and the quick dopamine boost, but what would you say gives you more that long-term joy? So during difficult times, it becomes twice as important to modify your routine, allowing yourself to experience joy. And they give us some ideas. It might take some trial and error, but can find out what works best for you. Performing a regular aerobic physical activity, Think of physical activity as releasing a bubble bath of neurotransmitters. Do you want a bubble bath of neurotransmitters? We're actually going to talk about ebullience in some of my devotionals, and their effects linger long after the exercise is over. I like this second one. Dedicate yourself to others. Activities such as volunteering do produce greater joy than just focusing on ourselves. And I know sometimes we do have those needs where we do have to take care of our own needs, and we do need boundaries, but it is great to helping others and volunteering, and also connecting with your spiritual side. Developing gratitude, compassion, peace, meditation can help modify brain pathways to increase our joy. And speaking of better pathways, everyone get a drink of water. It's even healthy for your cells. Do you have healthy cells? Do you want healthy cells? Of course you do. This is a good one. Discover something new. As humans, we're hardwired to experiencing joy. When experiencing novelty, developing a new pursuit can help us refocus our energy. And that also reminds me, it also increases our neuroplasticity, which is a great word, because no matter what setbacks we have or where we feel stuck, even just certain medical or whatever limitations, that neuroplasticity, our brain is always rewiring, regenerating, can regenerate those neural pathways and new circuits, especially when you try new and different things. I want that for you, no matter your age or situation. Give yourself permission to take those few moments of pleasure, especially when you're feeling low. Pay attention to the good. A joyous mindset can be developed, but takes practice. You can exercise, limit your negativity, toxic relationships. You can limit that, limit being around people that complain, work on not complaining ourselves, not having that negative mindset, and setting limits. Sometimes we do need to set those boundaries and limits on others or certain activities that keep us stuck in that cycle. So limiting that negativity, focus your efforts on what brings meaning to your life. And they so don't just focus on money. So focus on your purpose and meaning and helping others. And of course, talking with your doctor and your therapist can help you work with that. And some of the surprising benefits of joy, regardless of the changes you make to your mindset or to your daily routine, increasing your ability to find joy can provide long-lasting health benefits. Here we go. Your immune system can be strengthened by your mental state. Immune cells even have receptors for neurotransmitters. Interventions to increase joy can also decrease stress hormones, decrease that cortisol and those negative hormones that can keep your body and your mind in fight, flight, or freeze. We don't want to be stuck in that. So interventions, as I said, to increase joy can decrease stress hormones, improve your pain, those natural endorphins, and relieve some depression. Finally, finding joy can help you live longer. And then quickly from AI, and then we're going to jump on to the bonus content and the prize, which I'll tell you about in a second. Here are some ways to find more joy, and this is from AI. Practice gratitude, making a list of things you're grateful for to celebrate what you already have. What are you grateful for? Set goals, even set small attainable goals to give you that sense of accomplishment and encourage you to keep growing. Connecting with others, having those relationships can be a source of joy, support, and growth. Journal can help you release dopamine and endorphins, which improve your mood and self-esteem. Taking care of yourself. That helps with your mental, emotional, and physical. Volunteering, as we said before, can help combat stress and anxiety, can make you feel happier. I believe that whenever I'm in a volunteering situation and reaching out to others, I definitely feel much happier, releasing good dopamine. And it helps that other person feel happier, and you can feed off of each other and just start that chain of helping others feel better. Define your purpose, of course. Explore new activities we talked about. prioritize a healthy diet. And I have a help on my website and my other videos and podcasts for most of these things that I mentioned. Just scroll back. Staying active and managing your stress and anxiety. Now we're going to jump into the bonus content from my published devotionals. And then the prize, which is the end, is a quick, short, action-packed chapter from my published fictional drama where you get to ride along with us frontline workers rescuing those in crisis, a mental, physical, and spiritual. Let's get some quick excerpts from my published devotionals that are for your inspiration, your inspirational wellness. The first is from my Inspiration Battles devotional, Biblical Medicine for Real Life and Soul Searching with a Dose of Courage. I want you to be encouraged. Today I picked from its A to Z devotional, and the letter is F, and the word is fountain. Oh, to have a life of ebullience. Have you heard of that word, ebullience? It's a life characterized by joy that bubbles up and spills on to others. Shiny things, hype, lights, and sounds can seem to offer fleeting excitement. These pursuits can provide a temporary fix of so-called joy. But can these Band-Aid fixes compare to the scriptural definition, even that God provides the joy of the Lord? Or does he offer something more deeper and more life-sustaining? We've all probably spent long lost money and time chasing the elusive mirage of happiness. But a closer look at happiness reveals an existence that comes and goes based on the current circumstances we find ourselves in. On the contrary, real, lasting, true joy comes from being in God's will and knowing that he is in control of everything. What life pursuit can you recall that produced only that temporary feeling of delight, but eventually ended up devoid of satisfaction? What is that? Name that in the comments. The great news is we could all stop striving today. And I'm going to let you read the rest of that at my Inspiration Battles devotional, link at the website. And the next one is from my Mental Healing Poetry devotional, where I started doing spoken word here. I also have a tab on the website where I do read some of those to you. But Mental Healing Poetry devotional by Nurse Ann. Today I picked The Hole in My Heart. And it just talks about, I'm not going to read the poem right now. I believe I did on the website, but it talks about where we turn to find that satisfaction and that joy. And sometimes people turn to substances, just quick pleasures. The Hole in My Heart, I'll read some of it, highlights a life torn apart. Where can I turn just to refill? A bottle, someone's bed, shopping, perhaps just a pill. Will any of that satisfy? Or am I fooling myself merely to justify? I'm going to let you read the rest at my Mental Healing Poetry devotional. But the devotional part reminds us that many times in our lives, no matter your age or situation, you can feel that sense of emptiness and longing. Whether it's for a relationship or a life vision that we think is lacking, we might feel tempted to despair and wonder if we'll ever have our desires met. So I hope that whatever hole or void you feel, you not be tempted to grab for a false sense of comfort. So hang on. Blessings in abundance to you. And I'm going to let you read the rest at the Mental Healing Poetry devotional. The next is my latest, just released, Your Everyday Legacy Poetry devotional, to help you splash impactful transformation as you go for your own life and spill that onto the lives of others. And just a quick, there's poems in here and also devotionals, but the verse reminds us, it is Isaiah 43:19, that God says, behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? Will even make a way in the wilderness, even rivers in the desert. So Your Everyday Legacy Poetry devotional by Nurse Ann. Follow, like, share. And then I did an Ignite Life Poetry devotional to As You Go, Dare to Inspire and Bless Everyone in Your Path. I included serious life stories that I encounter on the front lines of mental health and emergency. Also serious life stories just in the world at large. and in your own life, in your own mind, battles that we face, and just ways to deal with that. So Ignite Life Poetry Devotional. And one of them, there's a poem called Generosity. And I'm not going to read the poem right now, but the devotional reminds us that giving to others is a quick mood elevator for both parties. What a sense of joy we feel when we give our time or a carefully picked out gift. And the added bonus of seeing a smile on someone's face is like icing on the cake. So that's from Ignite Life Poetry Devotional by Nurse Ann. And then we have Word Puzzles Devotional, which is interesting words, and I linked that to our everyday life and inner thought struggles, relevant biblical prescriptions to get you your dose to overcome and thrive. Guess what else is in here? Medicine for your soul. And the word today, when I first did this, this was my first A to Z devotional, and I also did the word ebullience, but I think it's a little bit different description in here. But of course, it still means bubbling over, exuberance, overflowing. Life doesn't always feel like that description. Stress and sadness can try to rob our joy, push us back down. And there's more in there, but I'm going to let you also find that out at the Word Puzzles Devotional. There's also a link at my website and a tab for that where I do read you some of those. And then I have Energized Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit, which is to help you propel your total health for body, mind, and spirit. Let's get started. So now we're going to jump onto the bonus and the prize and let you get out of here quickly today. Get a drink of water first to increase the joy of your health and your cells. So in my free time as a busy nurse on the front lines of mental health and emergency, I created this 6-part drama series that highlights the struggles that people go through on the front lines of mental health and emergency, and even in your own life. Also, you're going to see the relationship drama, the thought drama of the frontline workers, and you're going to see the involvement of the community, church, families, and so on as they help others. And there's even people that don't want to help. There's danger, action, suspense, romance, faith, and inspiration. And you know what? It is 6 short stories, but they are definitely connected as if you're watching a television drama series, because with your help one day, it will be a television drama series. So I put it in one book. There is a link at the website, The Mental Files First 6 Stories Edition by Nurse Ann, so you can ride along with the frontline workers rescuing those in crisis, mental, physical, and spiritual. The shifts are 24/7. You will have to buckle up for this compelling ride. Guess what else? We don't always have time to read, and to make it more exciting, it was made into an audiobook by Nurse Ann, narrated by Drama Simpson. He brought this to life. This is what it looks like on Audible and iTunes. He brought it to life with different character voices, action noises, siren noises, so much more. You're going to love it. You're going to feel like you're right there riding along on the action. Check it out on Audible and iTunes, and please leave a review so we together can work on making this an exciting television drama series of mental health and emergency. So let's jump on to the next chapter. We finished Sheep Among Wolves, Dr. John Doe, A Tent Under the Bridge. We're in the middle of Defenders of the Week. Ready, Willing, and Able is next, and then Out of Control. We talk about a lot of life situations, relapse, addiction, anxiety, bullying, autism awareness spectrum, memory, dementia, different disorders, thought disorders, frightening hallucinations, danger, so much drama. So right now we are in chapter 18 of Defenders of the Week, and it's called Mercy in Action. Please follow this, like it, share it. I'm going to share this chapter with you quickly, and then we're going to go. And if you want to follow along on this book club, you can get the complete book. It's really exciting. And the audiobook. And also at my website on the podcast and Patreon and YouTube channels. These are all in order. Each podcast episode has something that's going to help you in your mental, physical, and spiritual life. And then we read a quick action-packed chapter. So Mercy in Action. As the parents of the patient drove home, Mrs. Davis decided it was time to speak her mind. What do you need to speak your mind about? Robert, what happened to you? Catherine asked. When we started at the church, you had such a heart for ministry and helping others. But it seems like as the years went by, you're just worried about keeping up appearances and making sure that everything went perfect in the church. Then it spilled over into our home. No wonder Tracy is so stressed out. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around you also. Something has to change. Shocked by the boldness of his wife, Robert was speechless for the rest of the ride. Leon and his partner Martin drove over to the home site for another call of the residents being harassed. Leon was fed up and wanted to get to the bottom of this. These nice people didn't deserve this treatment. They had done nothing wrong. As he pulled into the neighborhood, he saw Joshua holding two teenage boys by the shirt tails, and Abigail was giving them a piece of her mind. Why are you bothering us? She ranted. What have we ever done to you? What's going on? Asked Leon as the officers walked up to the scene. Joshua caught these two snooping around. And look what we found in their book bag, answered the angry woman. When Joshua showed the officers the huge rock and the red marker, Leon took the young men over to his car for questioning. Fearing the officers' wrath, the teenagers spilled the story. We didn't mean to hurt anybody. We heard some of our parents saying that these people were criminals and we're just looking out for our neighborhood. I'll have you know that these are fine people. The man you just met served our country in the army and doesn't deserve this treatment. None of them deserve this treatment, asserted the officer. Hearing the commotion across the street, Laura and her mother made their way over to see what was going on. As Leon prepared to call their parents and take the boys in, Brenda asked if they could show them mercy and give them another chance. All eyes turned toward Brenda as she continued. What they did was terrible, but I've been through a lot. And in my heart, I can forgive them if they promise not to ever do anything like this again to anyone. Oh, thank you, ma'am, they gushed. We're so sorry. We didn't mean to hurt anyone. I promise we'll do better. Well, young men, this lady is very nice. I wouldn't have been as nice as that. You owe her a lot. If she insists, we will not take you in. But we'll have to talk with your parents, Leon instructed. When the officers took the boys to their homes, they sat down with the families and had a long talk. When the parents of the young men heard the kindness of the community members, even though their boys had harassed them, they felt shame at their prior accusations. We're so sorry, officers. So sorry something like this happened. Is there anything we can do to help these kind people? As a matter of fact, there's another work day for the tiny homes being built for the homeless community. We'd love to see you all out there, including you two, he said as he pointed at the young men. Yes, officer, we'll be there, the boys replied in unison. As the parents walked the officers out, they thanked them profusely for showing their sons mercy. They vowed to be kinder to their neighbors and help out on the work days. I'm not the one you should be thanking, Leon said as he wrote down the date and time of the workday coming up. And the next chapter, chapter 19, is Man in the Mirror. So I hope to see you at the next NurseAnn.com podcast for the action, adventure, advocacy, and awareness. And I do hope that you have that life of ebullience, of joy that can spill over. Have a blessed day.